Hi, and welcome back to the mini farm. Today, we're going to can some beef stew. I am so excited to share this with you. It's one of my favoriteest things to have on hand, and I'm sure you're going to love it too. If you're a beef stew person, you're absolutely going to love having this on the shelf. I also do this with chicken, so these are interchangeable. I use chicken thighs instead of the beef, so it's your preference, but both are quite delicious. So if you're new to pressure canning, this would be a great way to start dipping your toes into the water. If this is something you've been wanting to learn, then just keep watching. But first, please give this video a thumbs up if you like videos like this, and click the red subscribe button below. If it's already gray, thank you so much for being here. I love having you here, and I really enjoy our chats in the comment section. Without further ado, here's how to can beef stew. I'm gonna can up some beef stew today. For that, you're going to need celery, carrots, onions, potatoes. This is a round roast that I trimmed up. I pulled off some of the fat and then just diced it into about 2-inch cubes. And then some thyme. I like to use the whole leaf thyme, but the ground will work just fine. That's all I have actually. Salt, pepper, a little bit of oil. You need a heavy duty pot and some canning jars. Okay, to get started, I'm gonna go ahead and prep all my ingredients. Just diced up the beef into 2-inch chunks. Next, I'm going to work on the potatoes. We need to peel these, and we're also gonna need to peel the carrots. So I'll do both of those first.
I lose my breath whenever I see you. You stole my heart, what is it that you do? My life was great till you added colors. Like the moon needs the sun, we don't care about the others. You set my world on fire. You're my heart's desire.
All right, everything is all peeled and ready to go. We're gonna go ahead and start dicing up the onions and the celery. All of my ingredients cut up and ready to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started by heating up my Dutch oven. Just a big pot that you have would work here. And I also have my jars ready to go. These are not sanitized, they're just clean. So if I have a recipe that's over 10 minutes long from either water bath or pressure canning, you don't need to sanitize your jars. You just need to make sure that they're super clean, and then the canning process actually sanitizes them for you. So that's an extra step you can skip. But I'm gonna heat this up with a little bit of oil on the bottom, just very little. And I'm gonna sear off the meat once it comes up to temperature. The pot has been heating up for about maybe 5 minutes. With cast iron, you always wanna bring up the heat just a little bit, like slowly. So that's why I took my time. You don't wanna just put it on high right away. But I'm gonna sear off the meat. I'm gonna try to give it some room so I can get a real brown crust on it. This adds a lot of flavor to your stew. So this is a step that I would not skip. Just make sure that they're evenly spaced around, and then we'll toss them around a little bit.
I just wanna love you, just wanna hold you, just wanna be with you till we grow old. Please tell me you'll stay or take me away. I want you for myself every single day. You set my world on fire.
So this is the browning that we're looking for. This adds so much flavor. I'm gonna try to do a little bit more on the other side, and then we'll go ahead and add in the veggies. Okay, my meat is ready, all browned up. I'm gonna start adding in all my veggies. I'm starting with the onions. I'm gonna give the onions a time alone with the meat for just a minute, just to kind of really give them a caramelization too. And then I'll add in the rest of the veggies. You can put a little bit more of the salt in there to help that process. All right, I went ahead and just turned my heat all the way up to high, and now we can add in the rest of our veggies. This is why you need a huge pot of this. It's a lot easier when you have room to play. Toss those around. like to add salt one layer at a time. That's not necessary for this recipe, but that's just something I like to do. I feel like it layers the flavors even better. It makes the potatoes taste like potatoes, the carrots taste like carrots, the beef tastes like the beef, and it really gives it a nice complexity when you're adding it in one layer at a time. So now with the carrots, add the salt for that. And finally, the celery. Add in the last of our salt, some pepper. Toss that around and then we'll go ahead and add in our thyme. It's about a half teaspoon of thyme. And then we're going to cover it with hot water. You want to just barely cover it here. I'm going to toss it around a little bit more and then we're going to bring it up to a boil. Oh, it smells great already. Okay, we're at a full-blown boil now. I am going to turn off the heat and move it to a different burner off the heat. I'm just gonna skim off some of this stuff right here. And I'm just using the spoon and I'm putting it in a bowl. You don't need to eat this. Okay, now that we've skimmed out the top and everything, we're gonna start ladling into jars. So I'm gonna use my funnel. And I have quart-sized jars here. Just make sure you have a little bit of everything. And we'll evenly distribute them in the jars.
Set my world on fire. I don't know what I'd do without you. You make me smile. What is it that you do? My life was great till you added colors. Like the moon is the snow, we don't care about the others. You set my world on fire. You're my heart's desire.
Okay, then just take your spatula or your little plastic butter knife or whatever you have and just get rid of all of the air bubbles. And just go down the sides and make sure you got rid of all of the air bubbles. Sometimes that'll give you a little bit more room, so everything will rest in the bottom, and then you can fill it up with more veggies. But you really just want to go down up to the rim here with the liquid. So do that to all the jars. And then now we're going to wipe off the rims really, really well and put flats and rings on. Your flats have to be new, but your rings can be reused. And then screw them on just finger tight. Okay, now these are ready for the canner. Okay, I'm gonna use my Nesco today. You can use a stovetop canner or any kind of pressure canner that you like. So I have a riser in there, and I'm gonna use a jar lifter to put them in. Evenly spaced around the outside. Just showing you the jar lifter. The curvy side is the bottom. The little black parts on the top, the flat pieces, are the handles. These are hot. You could use oven mitts to put them in there too if you want, but this is a lot easier to do it with the jar lifters. Okay, then we're gonna add 8 cups of water. Okay, close it, and then you wanna move it over to close position. Okay, then you wanna hit high. and push the plus button until you get to your minutes needed. Okay. And then you just hit start. And make sure your valve is set to exhaust. When it's high like this, you know it's letting the airflow through. So I know some of us have had these words kind of wear off already, but higher up is exhaust, and when it sinks in, it's airtight. So for this part of the process, we want it on exhaust until we get our E10 countdown, and it counts all the way down to 0. This is going to circulate until it builds up enough pressure and heat, and then it'll give you the E10 symbol. We're going to let it go all the way down to E0, and then we'll turn our valve to airtight. It just beeped for me and went to E10. I don't know if you can see this. I'm trying to get it to a good angle, but it is got a steady stream of steam coming out right now, so hopefully you can see that. It's a little hard to get that on camera. All right, it just hit E0, and we're going to turn it to airtight. And then now this is going to start our countdown in just a second. It took about a minute, but we got here. Now it's at 89. Just beeped for me and went to the off position. I'm going to leave it alone for at least 30 minutes. I'm not going to move my knob up top at all. If you remove the pressure too quickly, you will have siphoning on your jars. So I'm going to leave them in there until that completely stops hissing at me, and then we'll go ahead and release the pressure. Usually I leave it in there from 30 minutes to an hour at least. So we'll be back in a little while. It's been at least an hour now. There's absolutely no pressure in there now, so I'm gonna go ahead and open it away from me using my jar grabber. Try to do this one-handed because I'm filming with the other one. Make sure I grab it from under the rim. And you can see it's still bubbling away. Put it on a towel. That's my favorite part of canning, when they're still bubbling inside the jar. It's so beautiful to see. Thank you so much for canning with me today. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Let me know in the comments below, are you going to do the beef version or are you going to do the chicken thighs? Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and if you haven't done so already, you can click on my face to subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye!